Awareness is growing rapidly in the United States. And now, and sooner or later, you're going to say ataxia is not a foreign cab because of what John Morrow has done as a pioneer. So first of all, I want to welcome some of the groups that have come a distance to be here. I know that there is a Long Island contingency in New York, and Bob Pellegrino is the head there. Can the New Yorkers raise your hand? Okay, my understanding is that there's a large group because the Yankees didn't make it to the playoffs. I mean, I think that could, I don't know, I haven't been here last year. Also, New Yorkers, would you mind, Long Island, would you mind looking at your body, making sure you don't have a rash? Now, if you have a rash, that means you're close to the Red Sox. That's what's going on here. So it's nothing, don't worry about it. So we also have Boston group. Can you raise your hand with Boston? And our fearless leader is Donna. Thank you so much for being here. Now, the Boston group, can I ask you a question? Anybody having a nosebleed? You don't get nosebleeds west of 128, Route 128. You don't, right? You're not bleeding. And our newest member and the first-time participant from New Hampshire is Jill Potter. Is Jill here? Hi, Jill. How are you? And they are also the newest member to pass the resolution to make ataxia a day of recognition on September 25th. All right, so thank you so much for everybody. Now, we wouldn't be having this event, and it wouldn't be the 6th year, if it wasn't for someone who has been suffering with the disease of ataxia for 8 years. John Morrow was diagnosed 8 years ago with ataxia, and what I learned, and you all know this, is a neurological degenerative disease that causes speech problems, balance problems, swallowing. And I asked him, how long did it take for the medical professionals to finally diagnose you with this unique disease? And he said it took him about a year. And so instead of sitting on the sidelines and moping around saying, I got a disease that not too many people have, he said, and 300,000 are afflicted with that in this country. He said, I am going to be a pioneer, and I am going to go out there and start being an advocate for the awareness and cure for it, or finding a cure for it. So Morrow and Denise got together and they started the New England Ataxia Foundation, or chapter, and that includes many of the individuals who are here. So what I'd like to do is bring our esteemed gentleman, John Morrow, who will also be on my TV show coming up. But John, please come over, and he has such a sense of humor. He was trying to introduce Boston as New York and New York as Boston, you know, he's trying to confuse me. John.
Actually, I went to my first annual membership meeting for the Ataxia Foundation. It was out in Seattle. It was my first time ever being around an ataxia and people. I didn't know what I have all the same questions as many of you face every single day that send emails to me, and all the same questions. So I left there and I said that I wanted to do something. I didn't know what I was going to do, and we came back, and within a month we put together a bike ride. Well, there was only 15 of us that showed up. That was the coldest day of the year. It snowed. Our eyes were watering going through half of the city. It was definitely a sight to remember. From then, we grew to about 100, 150, 2, 3 in the 4th year. It got to about the 4th year, and it dawned on me that, well, not really dawned on me, but it was a stone wall that we kept hitting. Every time that we would go out and we would try to get support for ataxia, the first question that somebody would say is, what is ataxia? I mean, they just looked glazed over. Or they would say, are you talking about a taxi cab? Or and this was kind of frustrating at many times. So we stopped our fundraising in the middle of our 4th annual walk, and we came up with an idea that I says it's hard to go out and do fundraising if, first of all, the public doesn't even know what the word ataxia even is. Never mind that they don't know what the disease is, but if they never even heard of the name, it's going to be much harder over the years to get awareness. So we went out and we sent out hundreds and hundreds of emails. We tried to get into the different papers, articles, or TV shows, or any way that we could get press. And then we actually, the 6th year, last year, was the first year that we were starting to go out to corporations or health source companies, and we would mention that we were having our annual walk, and you were getting people to say, you know what, I heard this ataxia, and I think I've seen something on TV or the press. So it was actually working. People were starting to at least hear the word ataxia, and it was opening new doors. We also came up with a bright idea 2 years ago. We said, wouldn't it be great to have a state resolution to give the state of Massachusetts to recognize September 25th as National Ataxia Awareness Day. And I figured that there was no way that was going to happen. So with a few emails back and forth, and sometime we didn't hear anything, but I was up at Pappas working, and I had one of my spells from the ataxia from overdoing it. Well, lo and behold, who was there was the senator. So I sends my wife over, and I says, go get him right now. I says, because now's the time, I'm on the ground. How could he say no? You got to do what works. So after a long talk, he kind of seen what we were fighting against, and he then took it the next step, and that year we signed our first resolution in the state of Massachusetts, which was, we were only the 5th state at the time to have done it, and we redid it this year. Also with that, we have a new support group that's up in New Hampshire. They're about 1.5 years old, and we worked with them, and they finally had a own resolution in the state of New Hampshire, which makes them the 6th state. And we're also in the process of working for Massachusetts to actually put a bill into law that national tax.
John, thank you. Let's all give John a very resounding applause. Thank you, John. So you cannot make awareness without your public officials and your elected officials, and there were 2 individuals who were very instrumental in passing the resolution to establishing September 25th in 2012 as Ataxia Awareness Day and re-establishing it for this year. And furthermore, what they're also trying to do is get a proclamation passed in the law. So let me bring up, it's Representative Paul Frost, who is not here right now, but State Senator Michael Moore, who we love dearly, is here, and he is going to talk about what it took to do that. It's not an easy task. Thanks. I love that. Yes.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here again this year. One great thing about having this job 5 years ago, when I first started running for this position and getting elected, is you get a chance to meet a lot of great people. And it's actually a learning experience. Besides the fact that you get the opportunity to meet John and Dana, who are truly wonderful people, and for all their work and effort that they are doing. As I said, this is a learning experience. 5 years ago, as John said, I never knew what ataxia was. And when he was on the ground at the Pappas rink, or Pappas field, I just said to 2 people, I thought there was someone over on the ground that was drunk, that fallen down. And it's sad that you think of things like that and not think that you may have someone over there who's seriously ill that needs some help. And I can tell you his advocacy for this has made me more aware of this. I think last year, 2 years ago, when we came to me, it was 150,000 people that had been diagnosed with ataxia. Doesn't seem like a lot of people, But just having one person or two people diagnosed with something like this, it's something we should put our resources to, trying to research and trying to find a cure for this disease. And as John said, and Chris, that we've passed a resolution 2 years now. We've got a bill that's pending in the legislature to try to make September 25th the National Ataxia Day in September 25th, the National Ataxia Day in Massachusetts. So hopefully next year by this time we'll have that bill through the legislature and we can celebrate that. But just as everything goes, we have to go in small steps. So we're moving forward and moving in the right direction, and hopefully every step is going to bring more recognition and more, hopefully more attention and resources to helping everyone afflicted with this illness. Other than that, I'm very happy for being here, and I'm glad that so many of you have come out again this year, and that we have people from other, from New Hampshire, other parts of the country that are here now, helping us try to. Thank you, and I think we have one more award we want to give out.
Denise Kapulka, please come up here, the Vice President of the New England Ataxia.
Okay, Denise, we wanted to recognize you today because we know that your family and a lot of your friends are here. So one of the things we just wanted to say is thank you for all your hard work. You have to put up with him all the time. That in and of itself deserves an award. But no, really, you work tirelessly. And also, we just also wanted to recognize you as well for something very special. So, do you want to read this?
As you know, Denise is quite active in the business community in Worcester County. And she recently received an award from the Worcester Business Journal. And I have a Senate citation for her in recognition of her accomplishment. So we have from the State Senate, be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Denise Kapulka in recognition of being selected a recipient of the Worcester Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Award. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends best wishes for your continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. It's signed by the Senate President, Theresa Murray, and congratulations.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I don't have a speech prepared for this because John always throws things on.
You never shuffle it. Never shuffle. Not at all.
So I want to thank everybody for being here today. I could not have done this without the help and support of everybody else here. John and I have been friends with many years, and Dana has been a great help to all of us. We couldn't have done this without her support as well. So thank you again.
Oh, you caught me. I was trying to put it on Facebook in real time, that event. Isn't it great? Isn't social media great? So you can all get awareness to my closest 5,000 friends. But I will, as you guys run, I'll put this all up on Facebook. Also, we cannot do this. It will make terrible noise if I go next to the speaker. We cannot do this without our sponsors. Health Source from Auburn is giving free massages and has also contributed one in the raffle. And please take advantage of that. Really, massages are so beautiful and wonderful. Balanceware, Ann Wolf, I brought her up here because she came all the way from Connecticut to bring this vest. Now, just come here because this is really, really unique. I said to her, what makes your vest special? So basically, do you want to describe what makes it special? It's supposed to help with your balance, and she analyzes, you know, your gait and your balance, and then she puts stuff in it. So she'll describe it.
Well, we evaluate your body for different balance deficits, and then we place small weights on the vest close to your spine or further away, but we identify where you need the most input to have better balance. So it helps with walking greatly, as well as speech and handwriting too. So it's something to look into if you have any of those problems going on.
Thank you, Anne. And you know, with your pharmacological treatments, there's also alternative and holistic treatments, and this would be one of them. So thank you, Anne. Also, UMass Medical School, our very famous UMass Medical School, first-time sponsor. Thank you so much. And hopefully the relationship will continue and growing to the 12th annual.